The stars glittered against the vast emptiness of space as the massive Alliance ship entered Earth's solar system. It was the largest spacecraft humans had ever seen, a city in space that dwarfed even the most ambitious human constructions. The ship moved with a grace that seemed impossible for its size, gliding past Jupiter's orbit with barely a ripple in the fabric of space. On Earth, governments scrambled to prepare for humanity's first official contact with alien life. The United Nations Space Command had detected the approaching vessel weeks earlier, but only now did they understand its true purpose. This was no random encounter. The aliens had come specifically to meet humanity. Admiral Tom Wilson stood at the command center of Earth's orbital defense station, his weathered face tense as he watched the holographic display. "Are our ships in position?" he asked, his voice steady despite the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. "Yes, sir," replied Officer Lisa Gray. "The welcome fleet is arranged as ordered, and all weapons systems are in standby mode as a precaution." Wilson nodded. Humanity had unified after discovering they weren't alone in the universe. The old nations still existed, but they now operated under a single banner when dealing with space matters. It had taken the threat of extinction to finally bring people together. "Open the communication channel," Wilson ordered. The alien vessel responded immediately. The large screen at the front of the command center flickered to life, revealing a being unlike anything humans had imagined. It had 6 eyes arranged in a circular pattern around what appeared to be a head, skin that shimmered with an iridescent quality, and spoke through a translation device. "Greetings, people of Earth. We are the Alliance, a collective of 37 spacefaring species who govern this sector of the galaxy. We have been observing your civilization for some time and believe you are ready for formal contact." The being introduced itself as Ambassador Locks, representative of the Alliance Council. Over the next few days, a series of meetings took place aboard the orbital station. Humans learned about the vast interstellar community that existed beyond their solar system. Thousands of worlds connected by advanced travel technology, sharing knowledge and resources. The Alliance representatives seemed impressed by humanity's rapid technological advancement. "Your species has progressed from primitive flight to space travel in less than 2 centuries, Locks noted. "Most species take twice as long to achieve such development." What the humans didn't realize was that this remarkable pace of innovation was precisely what concerned many Alliance members. In private chambers aboard their vessel, away from human ears, heated debates rage. "They adapt too quickly," insisted Commander Drez, the military advisor to the diplomatic team. "Look at their history. They develop weapons faster than moral constraints on using them. They've nearly destroyed their own planet multiple times." Ambassador Locks remained more measured, but they've also shown remarkable resilience and creativity. "Their art, their music, they could contribute greatly to the Alliance. Or they could spread like a disease through our systems," countered another council member. "We've seen this pattern before with aggressive species. Better to contain the threat now." Despite these hidden concerns, the public face of the meeting on the command deck of the Alliance flagship, Commander Drez seized the moment. "You see, they disguised this as a friendly demonstration, but they're testing weapons that could penetrate our standard shields." "It could be a coincidence," Locks argued, but doubt had crept into the minds of the other representatives. Over the next 2 days, the Alliance diplomats became noticeably colder in their interactions. Meetings ended early, and promised technological exchanges were postponed. Unknown to the humans, an emergency vote was taking place among the full Alliance Council, with Commander Drez presenting evidence that humans posed an imminent threat to galactic stability. The vote was close, but fear won out over diplomacy. The decision was made. Earth would be neutralized before it could become a true threat to the established order of the galaxy. Admiral Wilson sensed something had changed. "They're pulling back their diplomatic teams," he told Earth's president during an emergency briefing. "Something's not right." "Could we have offended them somehow?" the president asked. "Possibly, but my instincts tell me there's more to it," Wilson replied. "I'm placing our forces on heightened alert." His caution proved justified, but too late. The attack came without warning during Earth's night cycle. Alliance warships, hidden behind Mars, suddenly jumped into position around Earth and opened fire on the orbital defense stations. The bombardment was precise and devastating. "We're under attack," Officer Gray shouted as the command center shook violently. Multiple stations hit. Earth Defense Fleet is scrambling to respond. Admiral Wilson grabbed the communications console. "This is Admiral Wilson to all Earth forces. This is not a drill. We are under attack by Alliance forces. Implement Defense Protocol Omega immediately." Across Earth's orbit, human ships rose to meet the unexpected threat. They fought bravely, but they were outmatched by the superior technology and numbers of the Alliance fleet. One by one, Earth's defense stations went dark, and their ships were reduced to drifting debris. In the United Nations emergency bunker beneath Geneva, Earth's leaders gathered to face the grim reality. The holographic displays showed the devastating losses in orbit. More than 60% of Earth's space defense forces had been destroyed in the first hour. "Why?" demanded the president, her face pale with shock and anger. "We offered them nothing but peace." An intelligence officer stepped forward. "Madam President, we've intercepted and translated some of their communications. They see us as a threat, specifically our rate of technological advancement and our history of conflict." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity was facing extinction, not because they had done anything wrong, but because of what they might become. The president stood, her decision made. Send the message to all nations and colonies. As of this moment, Earth is at war with the Alliance. Activate all reserves and implement the Phoenix Protocol. Admiral Wilson, watching from what remained of his command center, received the message with grim determination. "Phoenix Protocol confirmed," he responded. "May God help us all." Little did the Alliance know that their preemptive strike had missed one crucial target. In a hidden facility beneath the lunar surface, Earth's most advanced warship, the product of decades of secret development, remained untouched, its systems coming online as its crew rushed to battle stations. The ESS Defiant was about to enter the war, deep beneath the cratered surface of the moon, in a hidden base known only to a handful of Earth's top military leaders. Alarms blared through reinforced corridors. Red emergency lights flashed as personnel rushed to their stations. The secret facility, known as Artemis Base, had just received word of the Alliance's surprise attack on Earth. Captain Marcus Walker sprinted down the main hallway toward the command center, his heart pounding. A tall man with short gray hair and eyes that had seen too many battles, Walker had been chosen to command humanity's most advanced spaceship. But he never expected his first mission would be during an actual alien invasion. "Status report," he barked as he entered the command center, where screens displayed the devastating assault happening in Earth's orbit. "It's bad, sir," replied Lieutenant Anna Reed, a sharp-minded tactical officer with a reputation for unconventional thinking. "Earth's defense fleet is nearly destroyed. Orbital stations are falling. The Alliance hit us with everything they had." Walker's jaw tightened as he watched Earth's ships being torn apart by the superior Alliance weapons. "And Artemis Base. Have they detected us?" "Negative, sir," said Dr. James Collins, the ship's AI integration specialist. A brilliant scientist with wild hair and tired eyes. Collins had worked for years to create the unique systems that made the ESS Defiant special. "Our stealth systems are holding. They don't know we're here." Walker nodded grimly. "Then we still have surprise on our side. How long until the Defiant is ready to launch?" 15 minutes, Captain," replied Chief Engineer Ben Miller. "We're loading the final fuel cells now." Walker looked at the assembled crew. They were the best Earth had to offer, 28 men and women trained specifically for this experimental ship. And now they were possibly humanity's last hope. "Listen up," Walker said, his voice firm but calm. "I know none of us expected this. The Defiant was supposed to be revealed next month as Earth's goodwill ambassador to the stars. Instead, we're going to war. He paused, looking each crew member in the eye. We are all that's left of Earth's space combat capability. Our mission is simple: survive, fight back, and show these aliens they picked the wrong species to bully. The crew moved with purpose as they boarded the Defiant through the main airlock. The ship was unlike any other human vessel. Its sleek, dark hull was designed to absorb rather than reflect sensor scans. Its shape, somewhere between a manta ray and an arrowhead, was built for both speed and stealth. Inside, the command deck hummed with energy as systems came online. Lieutenant Reed took her place at the tactical station, while Dr. Collins connected to the ship's central AI system. Phoenix is online, Collins announced as the ship's artificial intelligence awakened. Unlike basic computer systems, Phoenix was a semi-sentient AI designed to learn and adapt during combat. "Good morning, Phoenix," Walker said as he settled into the captain's chair. "Are you combat ready?" "All systems operational, Captain Walker," the AI responded in a calm, neutral voice. "I detect 27 Alliance warships in Earth orbit. Their attack patterns suggest they are unaware of our existence." Walker nodded. "That's our advantage." "Chief Miller, are engines ready?" "Yes, sir. Fusion drives primed and quantum fold system on standby." "Then it's time." Walker took a deep breath. "Lieutenant Reed, prepare weapons." "Dr. Collins, maximum stealth mode. Let's show these aliens what one human ship can do." The Defiant's launch was silent and invisible. The hidden bay doors on the lunar surface slid open just enough for the ship to slip through before closing again, leaving no trace. The ship's revolutionary propulsion system left no energy signature as it accelerated toward Earth orbit. In the command center on Earth, Admiral Wilson watched the continuing attack with growing despair. More than 80% of Earth's defenses were gone now. Then his communications officer turned to him with wide eyes. "Sir, I'm receiving an encrypted message. It's from Captain Walker." Wilson's head snapped up. "Walker, the Defiant is operational." Message reads, "The Phoenix rises. Watch the fireworks." For the first time since the attack began, Wilson allowed himself a small smile. "Godspeed, Captain." In space, the Alliance command ship hovered above Earth, directing the systematic destruction of human defenses. Commander Dres stood proudly on the bridge, watching his plan unfold perfectly. "Move the third attack wave into position," he ordered. "Target their ground-based launch facilities next." "Commander," one of his officers called out, "we're detecting an anomaly near the fourth planet's moon." Dres frowned. "What kind of anomaly?" "Uncertain. It appeared for just a moment, then vanished from our sensors. Probably debris," Dres dismissed. "Continue the attack pattern." That was his mistake. The Defiant emerged from stealth mode directly behind one of the Alliance's largest warships. Before their sensors could even register the human vessel, the Defiant fired its main weapon, a concentrated beam of energy that sliced through the alien ship's engines. "Direct hit," Lieutenant Reed announced as the Alliance ship's engines exploded, sending it spinning helplessly. "Re-engage stealth and change position," Walker ordered calmly. "Target the next ship in the formation." On the Alliance command ship, chaos erupted. "Commander, the horizon is crippled," an officer shouted. "They report their engine core is destroyed." "What? By what?" Dres demanded. "Unknown. Their sensors detected nothing before impact." Before Dres could respond, another alarm sounded. A second Alliance ship had just lost all power, its systems completely disabled. The Defiant moved like a ghost through the battle, appearing just long enough to strike before vanishing again. Its stealth technology, combined with its speed, made it nearly impossible to track. "Their shield technology is sophisticated," Dr. Collins observed as data flowed through his console. "But Phoenix is identifying patterns. Their ships use a standardized energy matrix. If we can disrupt it—" "Do it," Walker ordered. On their third attack, the Defiant targeted a smaller Alliance vessel. This time, Instead of directly damaging the ship, they fired a precisely calibrated energy pulse that caused the alien ship's shields to collapse inward, crushing its outer hull. Panic spread through the Alliance fleet. Their carefully coordinated attack faltered as ships broke formation, trying to defend against an enemy they couldn't see or predict. All ships, defensive positions. Commander Dres shouted, "Find that human vessel." But the Defiant was already gone, retreating to the dark side of the moon to recharge its systems and plan the next attack. In the ship's small meeting room, Walker gathered his senior officers. "Good work, everyone. We've bought Earth some time, but we're just one ship against their fleet. They're scared now," Reed pointed out. "We've shown them we can hurt them." "Phoenix has analyzed their communication patterns," Collins added. "They're calling for reinforcements, but their nearest support is at least 2 days away." Walker nodded thoughtfully. "Then we have 48 hours to cause as much damage as possible. We need to make them think twice about staying in our system." "Captain," Collins hesitated, "I've been studying their communications. Their coalition isn't as unified as they want us to believe. Some species were against this attack from the beginning." Walker's eyes narrowed. "Political division. We can use that." He stood up, decision made. "We're not just fighting for survival now. We're fighting to end this war before it really begins. Lieutenant Reed, plot a course for their command ship. Dr. Collins, I want you to find a way to broadcast to all their vessels simultaneously." "What are you planning, sir?" Reed asked. Walker's expression was determined. "If we can't beat them with firepower alone, we'll use something humans have always excelled at, creating chaos." As the Defiant prepared for its next attack, the crew knew they were making history. One ship against an alien armada seemed like impossible odds, but humans had always been at their best when backed into a corner. The real battle was just beginning. 2 weeks after the initial attack on Earth, the Alliance fleet remained in orbit, but their confidence had shattered. What started as a simple operation to neutralize a potential threat had turned into a frustrating hunt for an enemy they could not find or predict. Commander Dres paced the bridge of his flagship, his 6 eyes blinking in different patterns, a sign of extreme stress in his species. "How is one ship causing so much damage?" he demanded of his officers. "Sir, we've lost contact with the supply convoy from the Rigel sector," an officer reported. "All 12 ships disappeared near the asteroid belt." Dres slammed his 3-fingered hand on the console. "That's the 3rd supply line cut this week. Find that human ship." But the ESS Defiant was already far from the asteroid belt, hiding in the shadow of one of Jupiter's moons. Inside the ship, the crew worked with quiet efficiency despite their exhaustion. The past 2 weeks had been a non-stop campaign of hit-and-run attacks against a vastly superior enemy. Captain Walker studied the holographic map of the solar system, where red dots showed Alliance positions and green markers indicated successful Defiant strikes. "Status report," he said to his assembled officers. Lieutenant Reed gestured to the display. "We've disrupted 3 major supply routes and destroyed 4 of their communication relays. Their fleet is spread thin trying to protect their remaining infrastructure." "And the cost?" Walker asked softly. Reed's expression tightened. "We've taken damage to our port shield generator. Chief Miller says repairs will take at least 10 hours. And we're down to 60% ammunition for the main weapons." Walker nodded grimly. The Defiant was a remarkable ship, but it wasn't invincible. Every engagement carried risk, and resources were finite. "We can't keep this up forever," he acknowledged. "Dr. Collins, what progress on their communications?" Dr. Collins looked up from his tablet, dark circles under his eyes from days without proper sleep. "Phoenix and I have made a breakthrough, Captain. We can now decrypt their standard communications in real time." This was the first truly good news in days. The crew straightened in their seats as Collins continued. "More importantly, we've discovered something interesting. There's significant disagreement among Alliance members about this war. 3 species in particular, the Lorens, the Taylor, and the Vox, argued strongly against attacking Earth. Walker leaned forward. Can we exploit this division? Possibly, Collins replied. The Lorens control most of the Alliance's medical facilities. The Teller manage their long-range communications network. If we could make contact with either group, we might find allies. Walker finished. But first, we need to give them a reason to help us. He turned to Reed. Lieutenant, is there a pattern to their ship designs? Any common weakness we could exploit? Reed called up detailed scans of various Alliance vessels. Phoenix has identified something interesting. Despite coming from different species, all Alliance warships use a standardized propulsion system. It's like they all agreed to use the same engine design for compatibility. And, Walker prompted. Reed smiled slightly. And that design has a critical vulnerability. Their engines emit a specific radiation frequency during operation. If we could generate a counter-frequency wave, we could disable their ships without destroying them, Walker realized. Non-lethal warfare. Exactly, sir. Walker considered this information. How quickly can we modify our weapons? With Dr. Collins' help, I think we can have a prototype ready in 48 hours, Reed said. Make it happen, Walker ordered. He looked around at his tired but determined crew. This could change everything. If we can disable ships without killing their crews, we demonstrate that humans aren't the bloodthirsty monsters they think we are. For the next 2 days, the Defiant remained hidden, its systems in low-power mode to avoid detection, while Collins and Reed worked on the new weapon. When they finally emerged, they had a plan that went beyond simple survival. Their first target was an Alliance patrol group near Mars, 3 warships maintaining a blockade around the Red Planet, where a small human research colony had managed to hide underground. Weapon ready, Captain, Reed reported as they approached the patrol from behind Mars' smaller moon, Deimos. Target the lead ship only, Walker commanded. Let's see if this works. The modified energy pulse shot out from the Defiant, invisible to the naked eye, but powerful in its effect. It struck the lead Alliance ship, and for a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, the alien vessel's lights flickered and died. Its engines shut down completely. Direct hit, Reed announced. Their propulsion system is offline. Life support appears functional, but they're dead in space. Send the message, Walker ordered. Collins activated a transmission directed at the 2 remaining Alliance ships. This is Captain Marcus Walker of the Earth ship Defiant. We have disabled your lead vessel without harming its crew. We could do the same to you, but instead offer you a choice. Retreat from Mars orbit and allow the research colony to evacuate, or join your comrades in the dark. The response was immediate. Both Alliance ships powered up their weapons. They're not taking the offer, Reed said. Walker nodded. Then we show them we mean business. The next 2 energy pulses fired in quick succession, striking both remaining ships with pinpoint accuracy. Within moments, all 3 Alliance vessels drifted powerless in space. Broadcast on all frequencies, Walker ordered. Make sure every Alliance ship in the system can hear this. Collins activated the ship-wide channel, and Walker spoke clearly, his voice reaching not only the disabled ships, but also the main Alliance fleet near Earth. This is Captain Walker of the ESS Defiant. To all Alliance vessels, we have developed the capability to disable your ships without destroying them. We do not wish to kill your crews, despite your unprovoked attack on our world. Earth sought peaceful contact, and we still do. But we will defend ourselves. He paused, then continued with authority in his voice. We know there are those among you who oppose this war. The Lorens, the Taylor, the Vox. Your voices were ignored. I invite your representatives to open a separate channel of communication with us. This conflict can end without further bloodshed. On the Alliance command ship, Commander Dres watched with fury as the message played on their communication system. Shut it down, he ordered. Block that transmission. We can't, sir, his communications officer replied. They're broadcasting on all frequencies simultaneously. Every ship in the fleet is receiving it. It's manipulation. Dres insisted. The humans are trying to divide us. But the damage was done. Within hours, encrypted messages began passing between ships representing different Alliance species. The seeds of doubt had been planted. For the next week, the Defiant continued its campaign with renewed purpose. Instead of destroying Alliance ships, they systematically disabled them, leaving crews stranded but alive. Each victory was followed by the same message. Peace was possible if those who opposed the war would step forward. The Alliance fleet, once organized and disciplined, began to fracture. Ships from Loren and Taylor worlds moved into defensive formations, refusing to participate in attacks on Earth. The Vox went further, withdrawing their vessels from the conflict zone entirely. On the Defiant, Walker received an encrypted transmission from a Loren medical ship. Captain Walker, this is Dr. Kelm of the Loren Healing Council. We wish to discuss terms for ending this unfortunate conflict. Walker shared a meaningful look with his officers. It's working, he said quietly. Then, to the transmission. Dr. Kelm, I'm pleased to hear from you. The people of Earth are ready to talk. As the Defiant prepared for the secret meeting, Reed approached the captain privately. Sir, do you really think we can trust them? This could be a trap. Walker considered her words carefully. It's a risk we have to take, Lieutenant. We've shown we can fight, but ending a war takes more than weapons. It takes courage to extend a hand after it's been bitten. The single human ship that had defied an alien armada was now doing something even more remarkable. It was creating peace from chaos, turning enemies into allies, and demonstrating that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or warfare, but their ability to find common ground even among the stars. The secret meeting location was a small, uninhabited moon orbiting Saturn. The Defiant arrived first, hiding behind the moon's cratered surface, while scanning for any signs of a trap. Captain Walker stood on the bridge, outwardly calm but inwardly tense. This meeting could either end the war or end humanity's last hope. Any sign of Alliance warships? He asked Lieutenant Reed. Negative, Captain, she replied, eyes fixed on her tactical display. Just the single Loren medical vessel approaching as agreed. Dr. Collins looked up from his station. Phoenix confirms the ship matches the signature of Dr. Kelm's vessel. No unusual energy readings or weapons signatures detected. Walker nodded. Maintain alert status. Lieutenant Reed, you and Dr. Collins will accompany me to the meeting. Chief Miller, you have the bridge. The small shuttle carried the 3 officers from the Defiant to the meeting point on the moon's surface. They wore standard space suits with reinforced armor, a precaution Walker insisted on despite the peaceful nature of the meeting. The Loren shuttle landed 100 meters away. 3 figures emerged, their environmental suits adapted to their non-human forms. The leader was clearly Dr. Kelm, moving with the graceful, flowing gait characteristic of the Loren species. The 2 groups met in the middle of a dusty crater. Even through his helmet, Walker could see that the Loren doctor had 4 eyes arranged vertically on a smooth, pale face. The alien raised a 6-fingered hand in greeting. Captain Walker. Kelm's voice came through the communication system. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting. Dr. Kelm. Walker replied with a respectful nod. I hope this is the first step toward ending a war that should never have begun. Indeed, said Kelm. Several Alliance species now question the wisdom of this conflict. The Loren have always been healers, not destroyers. But I must warn you, Commander Dres and his supporters still control the majority of our military forces. They are becoming desperate. Desperate enemies are dangerous enemies, Reed commented. Precisely, agreed Kelm. Which is why I bring you information. Dres has called for the Alliance's 2nd fleet. When it arrives in 3 days, they plan to bombard your planet's surface. They believe destroying major population centers will force your surrender. Walker's blood ran cold. The Defiant could harass the current Alliance fleet, but couldn't stop a full planetary bombardment. We need to act before the 2nd fleet arrives, Walker said grimly. There is more, continued Kelm. Many in the Alliance don't know the truth about how this war started. Dres claimed humans attacked first. If the full council knew that the Alliance initiated hostilities based on a misunderstanding. Collins leaned forward. Doctor, does the Alliance maintain central records of all council votes and communications? Yes, Kelm replied. On the command station orbiting around what you call Pluto, it serves as our headquarters in this system. A plan began forming in Walker's mind. If we could access those records and broadcast the truth to all Alliance species simultaneously, it would undermine Dres's authority, Kelm finished. But the command station is heavily guarded. Your one ship cannot hope to breach its defenses. Walker shared a meaningful look with Reed and Collins. Maybe we don't have to fight our way in. Dr. Kelm, how many Alliance species now question this war? At least 7 of the 37, Kelm said, including some with significant influence. Enough to create a distraction? Walker asked. Kelm's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, the Loran equivalent of a thoughtful nod. Perhaps. What are you planning, Captain? Something bold, Walker replied with determination. Something no one will expect. 2 days later, the Defiant emerged from hiding with a daring new plan. Instead of continuing their hit-and-run tactics, they set course directly for the heart of Alliance power in the solar system, the massive command station orbiting Pluto. On the bridge, the crew prepared for their most dangerous mission yet. Status report, Walker ordered as they approached the outer detection range of the station. The Loran medical ships are in position, Collins confirmed. The Taylor and Vox vessels as well. They'll create the distraction on your signal. Reed looked up from her console. Weapon systems reconfigured as requested, Captain. The modified energy pulse should disable their central communications array without destroying it. Good, Walker said. And Phoenix? The AI has been programmed with the intrusion protocols, Collins replied. Once we're connected to their network, Phoenix can locate and extract the evidence we need in minutes. Walker took a deep breath. This is our one shot. If we fail, Earth falls. He straightened in his chair. Begin approach. Activate full stealth protocols. The Defiant glided silently through space, its advanced technology masking its presence from Alliance sensors. As they neared the command station, they could see the massive structure, a central hub with 5 extending arms, each housing different functions of the Alliance leadership. In position, Reed reported. Awaiting your command. Walker opened a secure channel. All Allied vessels, execute diversion now. Across the Pluto system, ships from the Loran, Taylor, and Vox suddenly broke formation. Alarms blared throughout the Alliance fleet as these vessels began performing erratic maneuvers, causing confusion and forcing the defensive ships to respond. Now, Walker ordered. The Defiant dropped its stealth field and fired directly at the command station's communication array. The precise energy pulse struck its target, temporarily disabling the massive dish without causing catastrophic damage. Direct hit, Reed confirmed. Their external communications are down. Dr. Collins, begin Phase 2, Walker commanded. Collins activated the ship's special interface system. Phoenix is connecting to their network now. On the main screen, data began flowing as the ship's AI infiltrated the Alliance systems. Each security barrier fell before Phoenix's sophisticated algorithms. We're in their central database, Collins announced. Phoenix is locating the Council records from the day they voted to attack Earth. Meanwhile, on the command station, chaos reigned. Commander Dres rushed to the control center, his anger visible in his jerking movements. What is happening? He demanded. Sir, we have multiple Alliance ships acting erratically, an officer reported, and our main communication array is offline. Where is the human ship? Dres shouted. Unknown, sir. Wait. Sensors detected. It's here. The Defiant is directly alongside the command station. Dres's eyes widened in shock. Impossible. All weapons, fire on that ship. But the defensive weapons of the command station had been designed to repel attacks from a distance, not a vessel clinging to its very surface. The Defiant had positioned itself in a blind spot, protected from direct fire. Aboard the Defiant, Collins watched as Phoenix downloaded the crucial files. "I've got it," he exclaimed. "The original council meeting. The vote, everything, including Drez's manipulated evidence. Prepare to broadcast on all Alliance frequencies," Walker ordered. "Lieutenant Reed, status of station defenses." "They're scrambling fighters, sir. We have maybe 5 minutes before they can reposition to target us." Walker nodded. "That's all the time we need. Dr. Collins, initiate the broadcast." Collins connected Phoenix to the station's internal communication system. "Broadcasting now, Captain." Throughout the Alliance fleet, on every ship and station across the solar system, screens lit up with the recorded evidence. The truth of how the war began played out for all to see. Drez's manipulation of evidence, the rushed vote, the unprovoked attack on Earth, despite multiple Alliance species objecting. After the evidence played, Walker's face appeared on every screen. "To all members of the Alliance," he said calmly but firmly, "my name is Captain Marcus Walker of the Earth ship Defiant. You've now seen the truth. This war began with deception, based on fear rather than fact. Humanity sought peaceful contact. We still do." He paused, looking directly into the camera. "The ESS Defiant has fought alone against your fleet, not because humans love war, but because we refuse to be exterminated based on what we might become. We've shown we can fight, but we've also shown restraint, disabling your ships without destroying them, sparing your crews when we could have killed them." Walker's voice grew stronger. "In less than 24 hours, I will disable every one of your flagship vessels simultaneously. Not destroy, disable. Consider this both a demonstration of what one human ship can do, and a final chance to end this conflict before more lives are lost. The choice is yours." The transmission ended, leaving a stunned silence across the Alliance fleet. In the command station control center, Drez stared at the blank screen, his authority crumbling around him. "Sir," one of his officers said hesitantly, "the Loran High Council is demanding your immediate resignation. The Taylor and Vox have officially withdrawn from the conflict. 5 other species are calling for an emergency vote to end the war." Outside, the Defiant disengaged from the command station and vanished into the darkness of space, its mission accomplished. The tide had turned. A single human ship had not just survived against an alien armada. It had exposed the truth and changed the course of the war. And Captain Walker wasn't bluffing about his final demonstration. Dr. Collins had a plan that would shake the Alliance to its core. 23 hours after Captain Walker's bold declaration, the Defiant hovered at the edge of Neptune's orbit. The massive blue planet provided a stunning backdrop as the crew made final preparations for their most ambitious operation yet. "All systems ready, Captain," Chief Miller reported from engineering. "Dr. Collins' modification to our energy pulse weapon is complete." Walker nodded, his face showing the strain of weeks of continuous combat. Dark circles rimmed his eyes, but his gaze remained sharp and determined. "Are we certain this will work?" Dr. Collins looked up from his station. "Phoenix has run the simulations 1,000 times. The theory is sound. By configuring our energy pulse to the exact frequency of the Alliance flagship propulsion systems and bouncing it off our network of disabled communication relays, we can hit every command ship simultaneously." "And the range?" Walker asked. "The entire solar system," Collins confirmed. "Every Alliance flagship from Mercury to Pluto will be affected." Lieutenant Reed added, "We've confirmed the location of all 23 flagships. Most are still in Earth orbit, but several have spread throughout the system hunting for us." Walker stood and faced his crew. "This isn't just about disabling ships. This is our final message to the Alliance. Proof that humanity could have destroyed them at any time, but chose restraint instead." He checked the time. 1 hour until the deadline. "Send the coded signal to our Alliance allies to evacuate their personnel from the flagships." As the Defiant made its final preparations, Chaos reigned within the Alliance fleet. The exposure of Commander Drez's deception had fractured the once unified force. 7 species had officially withdrawn from the conflict, and several others were demanding an emergency council meeting. On the Alliance command ship still orbiting Earth, Commander Drez faced a mutiny. Officers from multiple species surrounded him on the bridge. "You lied to start this war," accused a Teller commander. "You manipulated evidence to make humans appear threatening." "I acted to protect the Alliance," Drez shouted back. "These humans are dangerous. Their technological growth is unprecedented. In a century, they would overtake us. So you decided to commit genocide based on what they might become," a Loran medical officer asked coldly. "That is not justice. That is fear." Before Drez could respond, a communication officer interrupted. "Sir, we're receiving an urgent transmission from Alliance High Command. They've relieved you of duty. They're ordering an immediate ceasefire." Drez's eyes widened in disbelief. "They can't do that. We're in the middle of a war." "A war you started under false pretenses," the Teller commander said. "The human captain's evidence was transmitted across the entire Alliance network. Every world knows the truth now." Suddenly, alarms blared across the bridge. "Energy surge detected," called out a sensor officer. Massive reading coming from. The lights on the bridge flickered and died. Emergency systems engaged, casting the room in dim red lighting. Throughout the ship, systems shut down one by one as the specialized energy pulse from the Defiant disrupted their propulsion core. The same scene played out on 22 other Alliance flagships across the solar system. Within seconds, every command vessel was powerless, drifting in space with only basic life support functioning. On the Defiant, the crew watched their tactical display as each Alliance flagship went dark. "All targets neutralized," Reed confirmed, a note of awe in her voice. "Not a single casualty." Walker nodded grimly. "Open a channel to all Alliance vessels. Make sure every ship in the system can hear this." When the channel opened, Walker spoke clearly and with authority. "This is Captain Marcus Walker of the Earth ship Defiant. As promised, we have disabled every Alliance flagship simultaneously. We could have destroyed them. We could have killed your leaders and commanders. Instead, we chose to demonstrate only what was necessary." He paused to let his words sink in. "Humanity did not want this war. We still don't. I am prepared to meet with Alliance representatives to discuss terms for peace, not surrender, but peace between equals. You have 1 hour to respond before we take further action." The response came in just 30 minutes. The Alliance High Council, minus Commander Drez, who had been taken into custody, requested immediate peace talks. 2 days later, the formal negotiations began aboard a neutral vessel, a Loran medical ship positioned between Earth and Mars. Captain Walker represented humanity, accompanied by Lieutenant Reed and Dr. Collins. The Alliance sent representatives from 5 major species, including Dr. Kelm of the Lorans. The atmosphere was tense as the negotiations began. Walker wasted no time getting to the heart of the matter. "Let's be clear about what happened," he said firmly. "Your Alliance attacked Earth without provocation, based on fear of what we might become rather than anything we had done." "That is accurate," admitted the lead Alliance negotiator, a tall being with crystalline features. "And for that, the Alliance offers its formal apology. Commander Drez will face trial for his actions." "An apology is a start," Walker replied, "but it doesn't rebuild our destroyed stations or bring back our dead." "We propose full reparations," the negotiator offered. "Technology exchanges, resources, and assistance rebuilding what was destroyed." Walker leaned forward. "And what guarantees do we have that this won't happen again? That some other commander won't decide humanity is too dangerous to exist?" Dr. Kelm spoke up. "That is why we propose a fundamental restructuring of the Alliance itself. The current system allowed Drez to push through a war vote without proper debate or evidence. This must change." Over the next several hours, the framework for a new relationship emerged. The Alliance would pay reparations to Earth and help rebuild its defenses. In exchange, humanity would share some of its unique technologies, particularly in the areas of stealth systems and AI development, where humans had surpassed the Alliance. Most importantly, Earth would receive a permanent seat on a newly formed Alliance Council, with veto power over any military action within their solar system. As the negotiations concluded, Walker found himself standing next to Dr. Kelm, looking out a viewport at the blue marble of Earth in the distance. "You know," Kelm said thoughtfully, "many in the Alliance feared humans because you advance so quickly, adapt so readily to new challenges. They saw it as a threat. And now?" Walker asked. "Now they see it as an asset," Kelm replied. "The Alliance has existed for 3,000 years, Captain. In that time, we've grown comfortable, predictable. Perhaps we needed the shock of meeting humanity to remind us that adaptation is not something to fear, but to embrace." Walker nodded. "We have a saying on Earth, 'What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.' A wise philosophy," Kelm agreed. "I believe our civilizations will both be stronger for having met, even if the meeting was more violent than it should have been." 1 month later, Captain Walker stood on the observation deck of the newly rebuilt Earth orbital station. Below him, the planet continued its recovery. Above, ships from a dozen Alliance worlds moved through space alongside human vessels, working together to construct Earth's first true space dock. Admiral Wilson joined him at the viewport. "Hard to believe it's been only 2 months since the attack," the Admiral said. "From the brink of extinction to a seat at the galactic table. All because of one ship," Walker replied quietly. "One ship with the right crew," Wilson corrected him. "The President wants to promote you to Admiral, you know. Put you in charge of Earth's growing fleet." Walker shook his head. "With respect, sir, I'd rather stay with the Defiant. There's a whole galaxy out there to explore now. Peaceful exploration. That's what the Defiant was built for in the first place." Wilson smiled. "I had a feeling you'd say that." "Very well, Captain. The Defiant will be the flagship of our new exploration initiative. You've earned the right to choose your own mission." As Wilson left, Walker remained at the viewport, watching as an Alliance diplomatic vessel docked with the station. A new era had begun, not just for humanity, but for all the species of the Alliance. They had declared war against a planet they feared. A single human ship had forced them to beg for peace, and from that conflict came understanding that would change the course of galactic history forever. The ESS Defiant had lived up to its name. It had defied the odds, defied expectations, and in doing so, secured humanity's place among the stars.